I like capturing that single moment in time, like a fraction of a second that can be viewed forever moving forward.
Art just kind of gives me something to do, to fixate on, to really like delve into and commit to.
Art is so meaningful to me because it reaches into my heart and touches me in a really emotional way. I am number one a visual person, so I love looking at the world around me and making something beautiful from inspiration from it. So it's my very most authentic self is when I'm creating.
I think that what speaks to me about painting is how like workable and fluid it is. You can really just like make anything with painting and you can change it anytime. And I don't think that any other medium just like works in the way and has the potential that paint does.
The journey of my photography started probably about 3-4 years ago when I ordered a Polaroid camera off Amazon. And I just like fell in love with it. I was taking pictures of everything and they weren't very good, but I loved it and I kept doing it and spending a ton of money on film and going out, taking pictures of things. There's a certain kind of magic, just being able to go out onto the street and just capture people moving about their everyday lives that you don't really get with anything else.
I've never been an artist myself. I've never really had a desire to create, but I've always loved art. I've loved going to museums since I was in high school. And then as I started working, I really started to see how people connect art to life, or how people who are not interested in art find meaning once they make a personal connection. It really gets them to a place of discovery.
Since I've come to the island, I started printing pieces of nature, like pieces of cedar and sword fern and salal onto paper. And I thought, what if I rolled ink on the top of this and then pressed it onto paper and made a print of it? That was my inspiration. It's fun. It's fun when one thing leads you to the next thing, to the next thing. And you just you keep experimenting. That's, so whatever my latest thing is usually what I'm most excited about.
For me, personally, technique plays like a really big role in my photography. Like, I always prefer Polaroids and film over digital just because you get one shot and you don't really know if it works out right away. But analog, in my opinion, just captures that moment more.
This is a piece that I made called Piecing Together a Memory. I made it with colored pencils and alcohol markers, and it's kind of about fractured memory and like a bunch of objects of like sentimental value. Themes that I wanted to have in there, but I wanted to seem broken up to kind of communicate some nostalgia and like memories and things like that.
I mean, art to me is about observation. It's not even meaning. Sometimes art may not mean anything. It may just be about how it makes you feel. Not every art is about something deeper, or it can be, but it's again for the viewer to conclude that.
I will say that I'm kind of a perfectionist, which crashes into really making good art, I feel like, because I can get stuck in needing it to be perfect and not wanting any failures. And I read a book a few years back. Then the author said, in order to make good art, you need to make a lot of bad art, which means you just need to roll up your sleeves and get in there and create. And you're gonna fail, but those failures will lead you to the next thing, and you'll do it better the next time, and you'll get ideas for changing it. And that was transformative for me because I wanted everything I started to be perfect. Art should be about the process and not the product. And if you really give it your heart and give it your all, I think the product will follow.
Anybody can be an artist if you have the expression, if you have like the feelings that you want to put out. If you channel those and you put them down and you apply that, then you can get art out of it.
I like to set up pictures in like spend a lot of time getting that angle perfect, but there's a certain kind of magic that you get in like someone walking by or something happening right there, and you capture that moment that I don't have too many of.
I think what artists do is they capture a moment in time.
I think the expression has to come first before the technique, and you'll just grow stronger.
Art is not a riddle to solve. It's really a personal experience. I think I've grown to really appreciate creatives in general, and especially artists of all kinds, and viewers and visitors who actually have taught themselves how to look. Because learning how to look is a skill. I don't think most people, including myself, are born with it.
I think that my art is evolving as we speak. I mean, my mind and my life are constantly evolving, so my creative output of my experiences and how things influence me are inevitably going to change the course of my artwork and the things that I'm inspired to create. I don't know like what my art will be like in 10 years, but there will be artwork in 10 years. And I will continue to keep making stuff, and we'll see what the progression ends up being.
Now that I've been doing photography for a few years, I'm a way more creative person. I see the world differently, and there's a lot more color.